No?
A little. We're on. We're on. That needs to be set up like somewhere above it.
I know, I don't have any do higher.
Yeah. We'll just pull this down.
No, I got you.
Oh yeah, that's a lot better.
Is it?
Yeah. Maybe just like, go. Put this down to you. Naima!
Take that.
What's good, Naima? No, tilt it like the camera.
This?
Yeah, tilt that.
Alright.
Yeah, right. Right. Hey! She said, hey, King. Talking to you on Palmetto.
Oh, okay.
All right. Peace, peace, Naima. We in here. Naima, you gotta come. You gotta come over to the village. Labor Day weekend. You gotta come. We've been building. We've been building. Yes, yes. We've been busy. Yeah, I think that's great.
If you hear my voice, then you're part of the revolution. Welcome to the new world. I'm your host, Natural Revolutionary Palmetto Star, but you can call me Prophet. Hit me up on Twitter at Palmetto_Star. I'm also on melanatopeople.net. Palmetto Star. Hit me up. It's the largest Black social media platform. Tonight is going to be a broadcast that must be heard by everybody because there's so much deception, especially that's being spread on the mainstream mayonnaise media. These shows completely inundate you with Black dysfunction, completely, from Blueface to whoever is whatever's happening. They completely inundate you with Black dysfunction. So we are going to ask a question that definitely must be asked, because in the midst of all of this, people are disharmonious. They don't want to work together. Can Black people live together? After the Civil War, America did pay reparations to its slave owners. They gave about $10,000 in the modern day equivalency for each slave that they owned. What Black people got was poverty, punishment, and pitiful housing. The vast plush lands these former slaves once tilled were now shut off and forced to live in uncomfortably close quarters in American cities. Imagine if the people who should have been compensated for slavery, the actual slaves, were paid. Now imagine if acres of lush land currently being occupied by former slave-owning families and allies was instead assigned to the slaves who made them valuable. How would the world be different? Tonight, we're going to talk about how other groups, Mexicans, Asians, all of these groups, they accomplished their goal. They filled their households to capacity. They had 3 people on the bed, 2 people on the roof. But it seems that Black people have some sort of dysfunctionality, and I'm saying collectively when it comes to that. So we're going to be talking to Courtney Omega Dawes and Buzz Dawes, my favorite married couple. We're going to be talking to them about intentional housing, P4R today, all of that stuff. And they're online. We're on StreamYard. Well, we're on YouTube right now, Group Globe. Is that right? The Group Globe? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're on Group Glow Up. So you guys, if you're listening right now, you want to see a visual. You know I've been banned on Instagram. I can't go live on Instagram. So Group Glow Up on
See you
YouTube,
live right now.
streaming live
We won't
right
hide
now,
you live.
this very
Yeah.
moment. Tune in, tap in right now. Tap in right now. So let me first start this off by saying this. Again, congratulations and happy anniversary to you guys. I know you guys just celebrated an anniversary in Black Supremacy Union. So what's your how's the first year been?
Oh my.
Can't hear me. Wait, hold
The
on. Let me
first
do
year
it's
has
me.
been
It's me.
oh, no
Hold on.
problem.
It's me. Just let me do. I may have to take this off of this. But go ahead.
Yeah, thank you again. I said we're your favorite married couple. Well, you are our brother God, and not our God brother, but our brother God. So because of you is how we met. And I want to just say this because I know we've had this conversation before in private, but I want to say thank you again because let me tell you, if I would have struck out with Devon, if I you would have been over, you would have been over 3 about because I said you always had like some cool friends, but nothing ever panned out anywhere, and so this was not even expected. But we met on your birthday, on your trip around the Sunday, and literally the day after his birthday. And
Yeah.
we, of course, our unison, our legal unison is on my birthday, but our universal union was in Black supremacy was the 14th, the week before. So we celebrate all of those dates as we know numerology and numbers are significant. So with
Mhm.
that being said, we just celebrated our first year. And I'm just going to say one thing that I have learned with being married to Devon is that he is absolutely the most, he is the most manliest man I've ever known. And he is the number one, man in my life. But he's absolutely the most manliest man I've ever known and encountered out in a relationship. And I think that I never really knew what that looked like in its totality because, like I said, in my relationships, I've kind of always been first of all, I've always been the younger one, for the majority of them. But at the same time, I was, I think I was always used to being a little bit more of the masculine, right? I want to be
Mhm.
very honest with that. And I have been able to relax a bit and be a lot more feminine because I'm with such a strong masculine lead. And I really love that. So as much as the stubbornness does get to me a lot, I appreciate being my most feminine because he's so masculine. He's his most masculine. So um again, thank you for having that awesome opportunity where I was cooking and we were able to gather together, and then Bus and I found love actually. So thank you again.
Yeah, Palmetto, you kind of ambushed me too, man. I didn't know I was supposed to be getting the photo shoot.
Yeah,
I was right.
You didn't know it was a photo shoot?
I knew it was a photo shoot. I just didn't know I was supposed to be in it.
Oh, oh yeah, because that's right, that's.
Yeah.
But it was all good because the shots came out classic. You guys check out bsbapp.com. The shots
they
came out
were
real classic.
amazing. It was
So
such a high energy shoot. It was such a high energy event. Definitely was really excited and humbled and honored to be a part of it. And thank you again for helping us celebrate our day and bringing some awesome gear, some BSB gear over, as well as my as well as my Tassili wrap that took me about 3 days to complete. But I was successful in complete in eating it, and just being here because again you're a part of this journey. You and I have been friends growing on 11 years and 11 years to eternity, and so we're decade plus rocking right now. But it makes so much sense that you're right there with us with these accolades and with these accomplishments. So again, big shout out to you, brother God. Thank you so much.
absolutely. Well, it's cool that you guys are together. It's awesome. Black love is great. It's the foundation. And we talk about speaking of black love. Why does it seem like black people can't get along? They can't. We can't work together. We can't live together. The adults, they're throwing their children out 17, 18 years old. What's going on here? It seems like there's a disconnect. It collectively, I'm not talking about it's like all black people, of course, because there's a lot of black people that are collectively working together, present company included. So, yes, happy anniversary. So, what do you feel like is the disconnect? What are some of the root causes?
Let me take this one.
I want to start it.
Okay.
Actually, I started the question about how the first year has been, and you didn't give the one thing that you had taken
What?
from the first year.
I mean, no,
You never even answered the question.
I didn't. It was
You
a year.
didn't.
It was just a year.
Wow.
Well, not just a year. See, you about to get me in trouble.
Always. Thank you,
That's what
thank you,
man. You
P.
about to get me in trouble, man.
Thank you. But what are your thoughts? Why is it so difficult for us to live together? Why harmoniously?
It's a simple question to answer, but it's also no, it's an easy question to answer, but it's a complex answer. This is you got to go all the way back to the end of slavery. Once slavery ended, that started our indoctrination into individuality.
Wow. Why he's saving all the good stuff for you, Palmetto? He don't talk like this when he be trying to just get to some action.
That's not true.
He does. He don't be using none of these words. None.
See him flexing right now?
Yes, you are.
Word flexing. No, but that was pretty much the beginning of the end for us.
Yeah.
And we've never recovered, because if you go throughout history, prior to slavery, even through slavery, we always had that village mentality.
Mm-hmm.
It was always the family unit, clan, tribe, nation, empire. You destroy that by destroying the family unit. And they tried to do it during slavery, but they couldn't.
Right.
So after slavery is when it started. And they made it almost impossible and dangerous for us to group together and do anything that would benefit us. and illegal, and that would benefit us. And
Yeah.
even still today. And it's crazy because I just seen a post like literally minutes ago.
Yeah.
And I'm
about
listening to
Muhammad Ali,
right,
and how he,
and I'm listening to it. Not Muhammad Ali, about how they was doing the guys grouped up on the corner in Chicago.
Right, but he said that Muhammad Ali was saying that we should have had a segregated
right.
society
had
because they don't want to see us. Right.
But what I was saying was like even like when we're in groups, and they would do this in New York too. This was the stop and frisk bull crap, all that stuff. This was all part of that. If we were in a group, standing in front of the building on the corner, we ain't even doing nothing. Police burned down. This happens in every neighborhood, and a lot of times guys go to jail, come home with the jail mentality, and it's called congregating when you're in jail.
Mm-hmm.
You got 3 or more guys in the group, somebody got to leave. Somebody got to leave. You can get a visit from the cop. It's called congregating. So under no circumstances will we ever allow or were encouraged to group together.
Yeah.
So when you have this kind of mentality or this kind of what's the word I'm looking for, man? This kind of indoctrination over centuries, then not centuries, but over generations. What happens is it becomes it has been centuries.
Years,
it becomes dangerous, and it becomes they make it seem like it's not beneficial for us to group together.
It's self-prescribed genocide.
Right.
It's self-prescribed genocide. We're encouraged not to trust one another. We're encouraged to turn, betray one another. These were spiritual afflictions that were rewarded physically.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the depth of that. These were in spiritual law. These are offenses punishable by death, because with us being immortal people, when you betrayed your brother, when you sold your sister, you lost the ability to be able to live forever. You lost that ability. But this is what's the spirituality that we believe and we practice. But here we were in the physical, going through these absolutely horrendous physical and brutal conditions, that we were willing to trade out our spiritual immortality for physical tokens. This is the reality. And this was done systematically to destroy that bond that we had as a people, as a culture, as a community, as villages, as kingdoms. This was done specifically for that. This was not done because it was monetarily lucrative. This was done to ensure that the next generation forward would duplicate this same conduct. They would also distrust one another. I'm going through a heck of a thing right now just with my own family. As Brother Palmetto, we lost our patriarch, my father, last month. And my family, who you've met my sister, one of my sisters, but we're kind of the only ones that, well, not even kind of, we were the only siblings, the only one of my father's children that were even present at his memorial, and it was, everyone had an excuse, everyone else had a reason, but this is something that would have been unheard of 20, 30 years ago, that everyone just, no one could afford, because when could we ever afford, like you said, after slavery, what did we get? When could we ever afford to travel across country? And it costs more, 20, 30 years ago, because you're talking about trains, planes, renting cars, which we've
Mhm.
always paid more for everything. But so here we are in 2023, and we literally have people saying, "Well, it's just too expensive for me to come for to memorialize and to honor my father." That's incredibly just depressing. Absolutely. And we there is no doubt about how we got here as a people. It has been, as my husband said, it has been over generations. This has been consistent. This has been deliberate. This has been strategic to
Mhm.
separate the family. Because not only is Black love uh beautiful, Black love is powerful. And when we have been convinced at our core that it matters not, that it doesn't make a difference, it's not impactful, it's not important, it's not significant, and we carry this on to this our seeds and to the next generation. This is at the core of what we're talking about when we're saying, hey, we're asking the question of how can we live together? And if we can, how can we?
Mhm.
So we're honored to be a part of this conversation tonight. You know what we've been building here in Athens, Georgia, and what journey has been. And if there is any doubt that when people say, "Oh, that's just not true," there's no obstacles when it comes to housing for Black people in this country. Everybody is affected by housing, and we can attest that that is just not the case. Just
Mhm.
um, what we've seen and what we've endured this past year absolutely gives us a different perspective than what we ever even thought imaginable prior to this journey. But here we are, and we're glad to be here to talk about it again. We're looking forward to this being one of many conversations, but not just a conversation, uh, real action and action oriented um,
Yes.
directions.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And speaking of action oriented, I know you guys are doing your thing, creating new communities in different places, Athens right now. Intentional communities. This is a phrase that people may not be that familiar with. Can you talk about what is an intentional community and how that relates to what you guys are doing?
absolutely. Well, intentional communities is just like it sounds. It is a community. Intentional communities are communities built with the intention of, first of all, always existing in cohabbing, cohab living. We are, y- we're one of many communities that have dedicated themselves to doing that. But most of the time, what you'll find in intentional communities is you'll find a common thread or a common goal. So it may not be for all communities. Like some intentional communities might be all disabled people. It's a trait that is consistent throughout everyone because this is what kind of is the common thread, and it is to ultimately live together harmoniously without the worry of or without the stresses of um, growing out of the community. A lot of us, we say that we're about community, but really what we're about is just living in neighborhood. What makes a community? What makes a community? And it is supposed to be family. It's supposed to be trust, and it's supposed to be also shared opportunities. That's what a
Mm.
community is supposed to be. But when
Yeah.
you can live in a neighborhood and you're wondering how you're going to eat tonight, and you see a Range Rover pull up in a the house across the street, and you see them, getting out bags of Chipotle and Chick-fil-A, and they don't even care about what, that your kids are looking through the window with their mouths open drooling, and there's not even as much of a wave. And then they go into their homes. What we have is we have individual living spaces. We don't have neighborhoods. We don't have communities. Intentional communities are a commitment to continuously collab, live, and usually have a thread of, or they consistently have a thread of common traits. So we have them for all different reasons. Our particular village that we're developing here was supposed to be with descendants of slaves. We moved here to Athens, Georgia, to purchase one of the biggest former plantations, operating plantations in the United States. And when we were unsuccessful in closing on said plantation, we decided that we still wanted to pursue keeping uh, a village-minded strategy and mission as a part of what was our driving force. And I'm going to just be very honest. At a lot of times during this journey, it did not seem like it was something that was well accepted by African American and fellow melanated beings. It just wasn't, and that was very discouraging. But with the property that we have now, we've been able to revitalize a lot of our initial goals, and we have space to still do, a bit of what our initial interests were with even purchasing the plantation. So that's where we are now with us, you know, just attracting more interested members of the village and giving opportunities for them to see, hey, what does village life look like? Village
Mhm.
life does not look like everybody just living in a space but working in corporate jobs or working outside of the village. The village mentality means we are putting and investing up to, if not more than, up to 80% of what we create goes back into the funding and the strengthening of that village. So
Mhm.
if labor is something that the village is needing, when we're talking about building our own, creating sustainable livelihoods. This is our goal. This is the goal, supposed to be the goal of intentional communities, and this is our goal as the village, is to create a sustainable community right here and sustainable future right here where we live, not where we go to work, not where the kids go to school, but right where we live. And ultimately, a village should include and encompass those other aspects as well. You should be able
Yes.
to create funding streams of revenue right from your home. You should be able to invest that right back into your home. You should be able to the Your land should be able to feed you. And these were the promises of 40 acres and a mule. What we
Mhm.
are, we want to be promise keepers. We want to continue to take that
Mm.
plan forward, to our next generation and
Yeah.
create a black print so people can see that as well.
Mhm. Absolutely. Intentional communities are where it's at right now. And I know you guys are doing your thing out there in Athens. And I like what you're saying, promise keepers
Absolutely.
to yeah, I like that. That's what's up. So that's we had to connect with people that are willing to connect, you know. Not everybody's gonna make it too. Not everybody's gonna make it, you know. spoiler alert, not everybody's going to make it. So we had to connect to people that are on that same frequency, you know,
Correct.
because a lot of these people, they're out there and they got the vax, they're drinking lean, they're doing all this other stuff, like, and they're more of a liability than an asset. And when it comes to working cohesively, we all had to be assets in a sense. Well, let me do this. Cause I want to hear from you guys. Buzz, what's good? What's your thoughts on it?
I'm gonna say this: we as a people, we're out of order.
Hmm.
We're out of order all the way around the board. Um, we may have pockets, individuals who are on code, in order, whatever you want to call it. But as a people, as a whole, we're out of order. And this goes this from the top all the way to the bottom. This goes from the way we live, we eat, which I kind of struggle with that. You know, as my wife tell you.
Yeah, I got cut some horrible looks today because I told him that
She
he didn't need to cut into no cookie cake.
She would let me eat a cookie.
No grown man need to be cutting into no cookie cake.
I wanted a piece
It's
of
only one cookie. It's only one cookie you should be cutting into. Thank you.
Anyway.
Thank you.
Anyway. But like I said, like I said, we out of order. The way we live, the way we eat, the way we talk to each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What we give value to, and how we allow the powers to be manipulate us. And all this comes from just generations upon generations of just indoctrination
and distraction
and distractions.
My God.
And distractions. Like, I mean, it's
so blatant.
It baffles me how hard or how much we value idiocy.
Mm.
For real.
Mm.
Like you scroll through social media and you're like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? Like, as a people, like, what are we doing? But I'm saying that to say this. When you go back, like I said earlier, we thrived when it was village life. We thrived. Even though we may have a couple of billionaires, quite a few millionaires, but as a people, we struggling. We're struggling. As a people, we are struggling. And I don't want to hear that bullshit about we're better off now than we were then, because we're not.
Right.
We are definitely not. And when you have some chick in the headlines getting sued because she stuck some bananas, this is what's headlines, bro.
Right.
Like seriously, like who cares about Lizzo or Lizzo, whatever the hell
it's Lizzo. But you have to understand that is also coming at a direct distraction from the uprising and what's happening in Africa.
Exactly.
So we're gonna throw this literally this banana in the tailpipe.
Yeah, but
literally.
So like I'm saying, let's say this. When we were living as a village living, we thrived. We were pretty much the pillars and the creators of everything. Of everything. Like who's in charge now? They were living in freaking caves, planting their own crap. This is what they were. Mm-hmm. They were savages. While we were building pyramids, and then they would have you believe that aliens built the pyramids. Yeah. Because they don't want to give us the credit of like, no, we were engineers. We weren't savages. Y'all were the savages. You were ones planting your own vomit and raping each other in caves and destroying anything you touched, and still doing this to today. And they took us out of that village mentality, and now we become just as savage as they are. Mm-hmm. So the only way to get back in order is to come back. You have to come back. Because at the end of the day, What happens is this: a man and a woman gets married. These two families get together and create a clan. Two clans get together, they create a tribe. Two tribes get together, create a nation. Two nations create an empire. What do you have when you have an empire? You have strength.
Mm-hmm.
All of this starts with village living. All this is the basis of anything is family. Now, give you a prime example. When you look back to the 60s and the 70s, there was this movement to the hippie movement,
Yeah.
with the village. Like now, I was going to write an article. I never finished it, but I did do a little research.
It's coming.
All of these things failed. They all failed except for one. One is actually still up and running out in California. I forget the name of it right now. I have my notes in front of me. But the one thing that they had that the rest of these didn't have, they had families. They had families. These other ones, it was just a bunch of single people, free love, free drugs, and a whole bunch of debauchery going on.
Come on.
Just
And
to clarify, you're talking about hippie communes?
Yeah, the hippie
Okay.
commune.
The commune.
Right.
Yeah.
And they all failed.
Which is an intentional community.
Right.
Right.
They all failed except for the one that's still going on today. It's out of California. I can't remember the name of it right now. Like I said, I don't have my notes in front of me. But they've been going on for I think 40 years. They've been going strong for 40 years.
Mm.
But the one thing that they had that none of the rest of them had, they had families there. So see, if you got kids running around, you're not running around naked. You're not running around sniffing coke and shooting up dope.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do that in front of your kids. You don't want nobody else doing exactly. You don't want nobody else doing that in front of your kids. You're not running around naked, humping on your neighbor's woman. You're not doing these things. Why? Because there's kids running around.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing that none of these things had was families. And the one that did have families was Jim Jones out there, and we know how that ended.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But and that's the key with what we do and what we're trying to accomplish. You got to bring it back to the basics, man. It's all about the family. It's all about the family and then the village life. And when you look at our history as Black people in America, they have spent the last 200 years trying to remove the Black man away from the Black woman.
Mm-hmm.
From the economic castration of the Black man, mass incarceration, feminism,
Mm-hmm.
and now the Rainbow Gang. All these things is designed to form that wedge. And once that wedge comes, then you know what you do. You drop the white woman right in the middle to draw the Black man even further away. And now when you take away the Black man and you leave the Black woman alone, now she has to become over masculine just to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my point with and thank you for that opening and giving us that opportunity, which wasn't expecting. But in regards to our relationship, I did not realize how masculine because I had always thought of myself as being very feminine, but I didn't realize how masculine being single and divorced, how masculine that made me. I always thought of myself as being very feminine because I had no problem letting feminism is not being a feminine woman is not just letting a man pay for things. And that's what I thought, at the base of it, that's what it was. Like I wasn't like one of these sisters that would always be like, well, let me whip out my card or I was like, I wasn't like that. But what I didn't realize until this particular union was how much I just never had to think about what someone else's impression or what someone else's thought was on any decision making I ever did, and that was one of the biggest surprises to me, that to have to actually consider hey, what does that look like? If someone is saying, hey, I don't think that you should do that, or I don't think you should wear that, what does that look like? So, excuse me. No, I just wiped something in my eye. Yeah. No, thank you. But I didn't know what that. I had forgotten what that felt like, and I just remember thinking, I don't even think we were that far in. We were maybe about 2 months in, and I was just like, wow, I never considered this part of it when I thought about getting into a relationship again. I never thought about, okay, because Bus is he is very allergic. He is definitely allergic to seafood, and literally every other week, if not every week, we had seafood in my house even, and we had a lot of pets, and we didn't keep regular hours as far as even going to bed, and I just had forgotten, even with growing up with a mother and a father, I had forgotten what the role of that man in the household, what that means, what that entails. And I gotta be honest, even with being together for a year, sometimes I still am taken aback. Like, I ain't gotta listen to this. What is this? What are you talking about? I'm not gonna listen to that. And then it's like, oh, well, this is what I signed up for. This is what I committed to doing this is what I committed to do for the rest of my life. Is be with this person and be married to this person and be considerate of what this person is saying and doing. And it goes beyond, again, what his paycheck or what he's bringing in as far as monetarily, what that entails or what he's given because of that. I think that this is in this is exactly where village living also is significant, because in villages you had elders, and you have elders that are imparting wisdom.
You have rules.
Everyone has roles, right, to fulfill in these intentional communities, in these original villages. And instead of me just looking at left and right, some women that are my peers and my ages and younger, who would probably say at the moment, girl, he can't eat no snow crab legs with you, girl, drop him, because me, we this is what we like to do. So, and we think about that and we laugh at things like that. But literally, this is what happens um when you get peers and you have nobody imparting wisdom, and you create a society where younger people don't even want to listen to older people, and then older people don't want to talk to the younger people because they feel like they're going to be ridiculed, and they're going to be teased and taunted, and then the younger people feel like their opinions aren't going to be respected. So what we have are these generational instead of the we have generational curses that are continued instead of any generational wealth that's being held passed on. We have this again, this distrust of one another. We have this conduct where we resist any type of correction, and that is absolutely damaging to a people that need growth, because anything that needs growth is going to take some correction. But we get stuck in these ways, and we get talking to people that tell us what we want to hear, and we don't have the growth. I sat and listened the other day to Queen Afua, and
Mm-hmm.
she talked for about almost 3 hours. This was one of her many appearances on the Breakfast Club. But this was almost 3 hours. This was a 2.5 hour interview. And the just in that, the wisdom that was imparted, because again, from this realm, both my mother and my grandmothers are gone. And so when I can tune in to um, uh, interviews or to uh, these, I don't want to call them podcasts all the time necessarily, but when I can tune into these communication or these mediums, and I can hear and take and relate to what's being said, I truly know that I'm on the right path, because
Mm.
I know full well, if I ask even my daughter, she's 16, to sit and listen to something for 3 hours, that's going to be turned off in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
There's no way. And so, I like I said, I was proud of myself for just sitting and listening to it for 2.5 hours straight, just because I was just like, that's growth. Because me 10 years ago probably wouldn't even have done that. And so we
Mm.
need markers, and we need in our communities, our immediate community, we need people that can hold us accountable. We need people that can support us. And I'm not just talking about, again, with the paycheck and with what's coming out of their wallet, but I mean actually, can cook us a meal when
Mhm.
we're down, and can cook up something to lift our spirits. Someone that can see and notice some pattern changes, and say, hey, hey, do you want to come over and let's sit and talk for a minute? And that's what we're trying to do with the village. We're trying to really impart just the knowledge into our village members and into our space sharers, that we care that you're here. We care that you're here. So
Mhm.
we in preparation for this, we are doing a couple of things. We have a pantry that we distribute free food from. We have a self-care room that people can come and get toiletries, as well as feminine hygiene and oral hygiene, and body care uh, uh, tools. And then we have, coming up, Labor Day weekend, we're literally opening up the space so people can come and, camp and try it out. We're,
Hold that thought, Courtney, because I want to actually really talk about this aspect of it, because we had to get okay. So the thing is, we had to connect. We got to connect with people that are on our frequency, and we're not talking about just on the internet. We're talking about real life solutions. Real life solutions. So the Color Only Cafe Labor Day weekend camping outing is going to be one of those things where you put it into real action. But I want to do this. I want to play this track actually, and before we go in on that, it's one of my favorite songs right now by artists out the West Coast named Crip Jesus. You guys heard him on the show probably before. Check out cripjesus.com, get the Blue Bible. But I'm gonna play this track. It's called The Black Illuminati. Let me do this. Okay. And then we're gonna talk about this. I'm gonna play it on Blog Talk too. So I'm doing that. All right, this is Crip Jesus with Black Illuminati.
Mhm.
What was it?
My foot is hurting again. I think that was what that Russian people used to torture. Yeah, they beat the bottom of their feet so that their tissues break down little by little and spread through their bloodstream.
And you think that's what they used?
Yeah, I think that might be the tools.
Oh man, y'all hear this?
No, they're listening to the song. Stop that.
Yeah, I can't even hear something.
I can hear it. I can hear it from the phone.
Yeah, you can hear it from the phone.
We have it turned down low.
I should be able to hear it on the what's I can't hear it.
I don't know, but I'm telling you, I think that's what that device is. I mean, but somebody say that their phones hurt so bad we can't do nothing else.
It's crazy how you was coming with that.
What do you mean how I was coming? What do you mean how I was
You wanted to
coming?
break my thumbs.
Okay, but what am I supposed to do? And you tell me something, oh, I got to be in the room with a professional. Like, you might have to go to work. You might have other things you need to do while I'm getting my...
Reschedule.
No, that is not. I need some help with these now.
I think you should just go to a doctor.
I am going to go to one, but I'm telling you, these doctors are not up there giving no massages. They aren't.
So we're talking to Courtney Omega, Doss, and Bus Doss, my favorite married couple. We're talking to them about their community, building the community, and also putting into action how Black people could cohesively live. So you guys have something going on Labor Day. Please go in about that. Let me know exactly what it is and how people can get involved.
Okay, so yes, we have coming up on Labor Day weekend the colored only camp out, and I will just say this, that of course the hope is that we can have more families involved with the colored only camp out, but right now what we have is just like a few individuals that have signed up, because as my husband said earlier, we can't really expect to have sustainability with these communities without families. It is nice that we've had individuals express interest, and that's all well and good, but if we can't really we can't create a village with just individuals. It's got to be your individualistic thinking, because if that's the case, people just will, you decide that you've had enough of this living, and you just ride on up the street and you exist in an I Am Legend type of scenario for yourself. But what we have coming up Labor Day weekend is just an awesome opportunity to connect, uh, to uh, to congregate, to cook, to eat. The meals are included with all village packages, and village memberships. So we're starting with the incredibly sound healing ceremony under the last full moon that we will have this year, 2023. It will be coming up, excuse me, on August 31st. It's going to be a full blue moon, not just a moon, not just a full moon, but a full blue moon. That is coming up on that Friday morning. Then the campsite officially opens to set up your tent on Friday afternoon. We'll be getting yes, we're in Athens, Georgia.
This is in Athens.
Yes. And so, and even with our location, the campsite is literally for all of y'all people that want to camp, but you want to be connected to other stuff too. We are 5 minutes away from Starbucks and 5 minutes away from Publix and Kroger, because
5 minutes away from everything.
really we want to be very honest with this. A lot of us may say we want to, get out and we want to touch grass and be one with nature, but then you can't go a full 4 hours before you want to take a trip over to Walmart. So we have that. We have one 10 minutes away. Chick-fil-A for all of y'all. I gave Chick-fil-A up about 2-3 years ago, but for all of y'all who are still needing to have that type of connection to normalcy for you, that you think that that's what's normal. We have this here, so it's a bit of paradise, but it's also very still much connected to conveniences. So Friday we have a welcome to camp out and a dinner that's again included in the village membership. On that Saturday, we have the Manna Festival as well as the cookout. That is, if you're not a village member, that is $5, but we still have free tickets available on the link that is at the website coloredonly.cafe. That's coloredonly.cafe. We have literally a few more free tickets left for the Manifestival that Saturday. And that Saturday at the Manifestival, we're going to have drum circle, music, pond side yoga. We're going to have a geocaching scavenger hunt um, with gifts, for winners. We're gonna have a little bit of a flower race on the pond to see whose flower goes the furthest. So these are just opportunities for us, not just to connect and interact, but also for us to engage with nature in a holistic way.
And listen, fellas, I've been looking for a fishing partner for like the last month. So look, bring your poles, throw them things in the water, pull out some fish. We throw them things on the grill. We do this thing the way it's supposed to be done. We kick back, we vibe, live off the land. The hell with Chick-fil-A, Walmart, rest of these things. And I got some corn rolls too. I mean, it ain't ready for the harvest yet, but it's coming. Look, let's throw these poles in the water. Let's get right. Let's get right.
Yeah,
All right.
boating opportunity as well as there are there are a couple of trails. If long walks is a great idea for you. And then also too, let's say if you have a tent, you can bring a tent. If you don't have a tent, we'll supply a tent. We just want to make sure that you're coming and that you're experiencing this and take an opportunity to do so, because it's very easy for us to say, well, we don't have the time, or we it's too far, but yet let the Beyonce Renaissance tickets go on sale, and they're 7 hours away, and you got to wait in line for 3 hours, 4 hours. You can do it. Right. Well, I wouldn't know, but you can do it. So I want to take these opportunities also, not just to connect, but also get real, like literally get real. You know, um, this is a couple of hours. Literally, this is a few hours that you can really just be yourself. And then also at the same time too, you can be yourself, but you can also still enjoy the perks of what it means to, and what it is like to actually see a brother or a sister, and you're not having to wonder, okay, can I trust this person? Okay, is he's going to try to holler at me, and I don't want to talk to him, so I say this. Oh, that's just the got on, what I got on, and she think that she's better than me, but she's not, because one thing is true, man. When you go out here in these camping elements, I'm telling you, you start to abandon very quickly these notions of uh, of of just the pretentiousness, because at the end of the day, that when that sun sets and the stars are out, nature has an awesome way of humbling us.
Mm.
We love to just go to sleep with the doors open and just hearing the frogs and the cicadas and just really enjoying what being one with nature and what that feels like. So we're offering that opportunity up so others can experience it as well. And then on Sunday, the closeout day, which is still the third. So you still have the fourth. If you have a Labor Day barbecue to get to, listen, I'm not going to be judged. I'm not going to be mad at you. We're going to have some other work that we've got to be doing it as well. Plenty of cleanups to probably do. So we close out on Sunday, and we're welcoming people to come back. We do monthly bring your own brunch and bridging the gap brunches. And then in February, we're going to be doing an awesome couple all day staycation. So we're trying to literally create the opportunities that we want to see instead of waiting for them to happen. And we welcome all who want to come and join. So this is going on this upcoming Labor Day weekend from the 31st to September 3rd. And you heard it correct. On Labor Day, that Monday, you can still go and do whatever else you want to get out there and do. As for us, we'll probably be sleeping in and enjoying it. We're going to take our Labor Days very seriously and do no labor. Thank you. And that's word to Marcus Garvey. That's right. Word to Marcus Garvey. No
So just
labor.
so that sounds amazing. So that's one of the things solutions we came in asking the question, can black people live together? And this is the solution. We had to get into these situations, into these spaces where we are together,
That's
where we
it.
are on that same frequency and we're together, you know what I'm saying? So in a mind state of building and becoming community, because we get into a lot of these spaces and it's for negative reasons, drugs, alcohol,
Come
entertainment,
on.
nature,
Right.
sex, all these things of that nature. So get into these spaces where it's about building community, and that's a powerful thing. So definitely big time shout out to y'all and what you're doing and what you're building out there in Athens. Now, where can people find you guys at online? You know, let people know where they can find you at and how they can sign up. And again, give them some of the highlights of this retreat.
Absolutely. Yes. Again, this is going down August 31st to September 3rd. You can still get free tickets at coloredonly.cafe. Colored only is spelled just like how it sounds. That is COLORED coloredonly.cafe. That is the name of the cafe because, again, we believe in practicing what we preach, and that is prioritizing plants in a way that is celebrated, not just tolerated. Plants
Mm.
deserve more than just a side salad, y'all. It could be the heart of your meal. And as a matter of fact, when we get off this, I'm gonna enjoy a couple more little scoops of a nice gazpacho that I just made.
You know,
No, you aren't either. Stop it. Anyway, so that is August 31st to September 3rd. That is going on here in Athens, Georgia. You can still pick up free tickets for the cookout that Saturday, and that is from the that the vendors. That's Drum Circle. That is Ponside Yoga. This happens all from 12 noon until we are, we outside. Y'all say y'all outside. We outside for real. We outside over here. And the village opportunities, if you are interested in being a village member, you can go to p4r.today. That is p4r.today. today. We have memberships that you can get access to one event, one event a year, or you can get access to 3 events every year, or 3 events per year rather. And that comes in with your own tent. So every time you come to a colored only event, you do not have to worry about packing your stuff and did you bring it. It's packed and stored here with your name on it, and we can again accommodate you however way you need because you are a village member. Now, again, all members matter. All members matter. So even if you don't want to be a village member or you cannot be a village member right now, just you coming to 2 events throughout the year will automatically get you invited to Bridging the Gap brunches as well as the Bring Your Own brunch. And these are monthly potlucks that we do here on site as well. We are always looking for opportunities to village, even if your financial situation may be a strain. We will always look for opportunities to again bring you in, again engage with you, and again build with you. So please do not look past this gathering on Labor Day weekend and just think of it as being something that, oh well, it'll be around next year. There's always another time. If I could take one thing out of our generation's mouth, it'll always be a no. Because again, you all, that is not promise. And especially when it comes to us and to being able to support and build our events and our engagements. Because as we've known through other intentional communities, Tulsa was an intentional community. Bruce Beach was an intentional community. Things that are usually built for us by us are usually destroyed by people that are not us. And so we don't support us. Please stop thinking someone else will. So please don't put this off and say you'll catch the next one, or you'll catch up with us some later time. Make it uh, appreciate the urgency of now because we need your support today.
Mm-hmm.
Nate?
Excuse me. All right. Well, you can, like I said, you can. Well, like my wife said, if the link is for the camp out is located on before.today. You can find us on TikTok, God_4, Google Courtney. Facebook is who glow up.
No, Facebook is Courtney Omega Doll.
Courtney Omega Doss.
Yeah.
Bus D Doss.
Yes.
IG God4_74.
And that's group forward.
And that's group glow.
Yeah.
We have a lot of accounts. Sometimes I forget which, all over the place. And she's got like 9 different names. Me, 1, maybe 2.
It's like 2. It's like 2. If it's not
oh wait, I forgot about the other TikToks. Those mukbang.
Yeah, those Dr. Mukbangs is for our foodies that are want to following all the types of different different meals that we're eating and different things to do with those being prioritized. I'm going to be loading the gazpacho video literally in a couple of minutes, so you can see how that turned out. Turned out great. So again, guys, we're always looking for ways to engage, and we would love to have your participation and your inclusion in our village events because we want your feedback as well. What works for you, what doesn't, and we are actively, again, not just for the camp out, not just for the pantry or the self-care room, the rainbow room, but we do this in our livelihoods for real. We manage properties and we want to start to find these properties that can support this village living. So we're not looking at apartments, we're not looking at kind of tiny homes even. We're looking at real multifamily properties that can support village building. So if that sounds like you, and Athens, Georgia sounds like some place that you want to visit and you're interested in, please don't do not pass up this opportunity to come on over and build with us Labor Day weekend. See how you like the area, and then get serious and get intentional about joining a village, because the time is soon coming that your villages or your communities, your neighborhoods are not going to be chosen by you. They're going to be chosen for you. So it's
Mm,
best that we align while we still can.
no doubt. Yes, yes, yes. Hold on a second. Yes, that's beautiful. You gotta check it out. It's, hold on for a second. Okay, you guys check that out.
International mission to what?
You guys, it's going to be great. You guys come out there. It's going to be an amazing thing. Black people can live together. And we got to get off trying to join up with the masses. This is going to be a collective movement. It's going to start with pockets of people. It is starting with pockets of people. And ultimately, one person is changing all of this. So it's about us connecting and becoming that unified force. So big time shout out to you guys, because I love what you're doing. And again, congratulations on the anniversary. You guys are amazing.
Thank
My
you.
favorite married couple. And y'all go out and check out Athens. It's going to be an amazing thing, Labor Day weekend with the blue moon. The blue moon is going to be so powerful this year.
So
It's gonna,
powerful.
yes. Yes. Well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to play this track from I Am Per Segment and Jamar Milton. It's called Black and Proud. I encourage everybody to take this, spread this message, awaken others, and win the revolution within. It's Two Roll for TV.
What's going on? You go to p4r.today. You can see the link. Hit the link, and it'll give you more information. Is your wife single? See, I couldn't really answer these questions.
That's something they do foot rub.
Nah, he's been going.
Oh, okay.
He's been going. And that's why I had to reset, because
Well,
when he was going Muslim,
can you find his
like
account and
like
ask him if
60
he can?
people in the room. Like 60 people in the room. That's why I reset, because I know what's going on.
Right.
So I want to catch him. I mean, the man's known, but we was around like 20 something for a little bit though. I guess that's what this guy was doing, and I don't know who this is right here. So I, but we was doing interviews with him. So, yeah, good though. Who's this? Eli, what's up? Mr. Bogan interview, bro. TV. We about to sign off now. If you got some questions. So, yeah. Well, ain't gonna get that. I'm not gonna see. No.
What you gonna do?
I don't know. I don't even sleep all day. I don't know what I do.
Oh, really?
I do.
I like that. Can we sleep together all day?
What?
Oh, you got those things to make.
Oh, shit. I forgot all about that. Thanks for volunteering. Appreciate
Well,
it.
you said we wanted to move, so it's only, I think it's only nine that we're gonna be able to move anyway.
Need more. What's going on? We about to get up out of here. Auto Royale. What you rate that one?
What is it?
Auto Royale.
Oh my gosh, it's nice. I'm like Carter Royale.
Bro, you see DeMarcus Red singing tonight? Nah, I didn't. And I'm not too sure I even want to see DeMarcus Red singing. One of a Giant fan, as you can see, Marcus Red, he never punk ass character. So, I don't care what he did. The preseason game, it's elimination game. It was trash. Of course it was trash. He's a kid. Everything he did was trash. And I'm gonna look it up though, because I want to laugh.
All right, the revolution will not be televised.
Oh, we bullied his way on, huh?
Let me see, y'all. Black supremacy.
Black supremacy.
Yeah, I bet it was hilarious. I'm gonna check it out though. As soon as I get over here, I'm gonna check it out.